This is the most important video you will see about personality types. Instead of always typing based on cognitive functions, consider listening to what I have to say in this video. There's interesting research by Linda Burns about the interaction and the communication styles that people use that we can use to understand ourselves and to interpret behavior of others. In our personality type chart, we can see there are two kinds of interaction styles. We have the directing and informing, and we have responding and initiating. Those are the basic two interaction communication styles we have. Directing or informing. This one answers how do we try to interact or impact on other people verbally, but also based on our physical behavior. First, we have directing. So directing types you can see from this chart. These types have a natural focus in their communication on the outcome, on the efficiency, on accomplishing tasks. With their communication, they want to create order, they want to create structure, and they want to proceed further. What kind of behavior do they have? They usually can tell people what to do, they can order people, they can urge, they can ask direct questions and give instructions. For example, they care about timelines, plans, execution, implementation, and they can easily get frustrated by unclarity. You know, it's like you don't know where we are going, what is this discussion leading. They don't like to inform people. It's more natural for them to just get to the point. And this is why directing people can also come across a bit impatient. Directing people, due to just their natural way of communicating, can come across more confident or overconfident than they actually are, for example. And then the opposite one is the informing one. Informative people want to give motivation, give desire to someone to act upon. They don't want to directly tell you to do something. They rather want you to naturally, based on our communication and interaction, to have the insight or motivation or desire to do it. They are less outcome focused per se and more focused on the process and the interaction and the harmony in the group. With their communication, they want to excite, they want to inspire, they want to give new perspectives to the discussion, they want to stimulate in some sense. The natural way these people interact is more like questioning, explaining things, describing how things are from their perspective or from other perspectives, look things holistically, and just in general, just informing things that don't necessarily have to have a point in some sense. These people can come across more like flexible, open-minded, more patient because their way of communicating and interacting, and they can get really impatient or annoyed when they are being told what to do, when they are being bossed around. They don't maybe like to give definitive answers, so they would rather have discussions that are kind of vague. And sometimes these people can become even really conflict averse, not saying things directly as they are or what they're thinking. Remember, all of us are both directing and informing. It's just a question of how much of your behavior is which pattern, which means that are you 70% of the time informing and 30% of the time directing? What is the most natural way? Of course, when we are at work, we're like, at work, I'm super directing, that's why I'm directing. No. Okay, look holistically your behavior objectively and just notice the most natural way of behaving, and that's where you find your communication style. Okay, what is this concretely? I'll give an example. From directing to informing. Let's have a scenario where at home we don't have milk. So as a directing person or as an informing person, you want the other person to get milk. Let's start from directing. First one is get milk. Second one, could you get some milk? We don't have milk. Maybe you should get some milk. We don't have milk. Is it possible for you to get some milk? And on the informing side, it's more like, hey, I noticed that we don't have milk. So not actually telling the other person to get milk. And the next interaction style, we have responding and initiating. This is not just, oh, I'm extroverted or I'm introverted. Oh, I feel like I'm an extrovert. I'm actually an ambivert because sometimes I like to be alone and sometimes not. No, okay? This responding and initiating, it describes how are you using your energy, your social energy. It tells how do you get energized by other people, and it also tells how do you direct your own energy socially. So the responding person focuses on the internal processes. So they're going to be more observing externally and having the dialogue internally. That's why they are more observant, usually have better self-reflection. They can be a bit slow motion. They come across as patient, like waiting for others to initiate on them. They come across more reserved. They think before they say. And these people can get a bit frustrated by fast-paced environments. They don't like to be in rush instances. They need some time to reflect on things. And then on the other hand, we have the initiating. So that is the person who directs their energy externally. What does that mean? It means that they are looking to interact with people constantly on the external environment. So they're looking for opportunities to interact. They behave more initiative because of this. They are more comfortable with fast-paced environments and even with chaos, with overstimulation due to this. They come across more sociable, more extroverted, bubbly. You notice an initiating person if they are in a social setting and they really feel uncomfortable for not initiating, for not discussing, for not having a social interaction. So it's like they need to be active in a social setting. Also, another extroverted trait that I definitely can relate to is that they speak before they think. Maybe from a responding perspective, an initiating person can come across a bit more intrusive, impatient if things are moving slowly. Like I said, you are all of these. It's just a matter of what is the consistent pattern of behavior that you have. Focus on that. Okay. Last one, look at the chart, look at the personality chart. If you are informing and responding, so INFP, ISFJ, INTP, or ISFP, you are going to be mostly focusing on getting holistic approach. You're going to inform people, instruct people holistically from different perspectives, maintain the harmony, support the group's process to the outcome, and wanting to understand it from different perspectives. If you are informing and initiating, so ESFJ, ENFP, ENTP, or ESFP, you are gonna push the process to happen, but you still care more about the interaction itself and you want to facilitate kind of the discussion, the interaction. You want interaction, implementation, and getting everyone involved in the process. If you are directing and responding, so INFJ, ISTJ, INTJ, or ISTP, so you're gonna direct the decisions, but also observe and be holistic enough not to rush them. So you want to define the process, you want deliberate actions, and make sure that everyone is on track on the process, but more from the background seat. And if you are directing and initiating, which means you are ENFJ, ESTJ, ENTJ, or ESTP, you want to push people to that direction. So you both direct, you tell the goal and you're really clear about the goal, and you initiate on the interaction to go towards that goal. You are results focused, you make quick decisions, you say things as they are without too much filter, and that's the way they communicate, interact. So instead of trying to type people based on cognitive functions, here's another layer. The communication interaction style is an interesting theory by Linda Burns, which I definitely think after this video you understand and see the potential in. Please support my channel by liking and subscribing. See you in the next video.